Hello guys, so today I want to talk about the manual system for the Dell's Ultrasharp P Series 2716D professional grade monitor. This is a monitor that features their factory in-house calibration, which comes to you with a delta E less than 2, and you get a calibrated report for the monitor. And as well as this monitor also features some fantastic features like professional grade color, which features 100% Adobe RGB coverage, 100% sRGB coverage, and it also adds 2 new color specs, especially for the video editors. So the REC 709 format with 100% coverage and DCI P3 with 98% coverage. So those two formats are great for video post-production, and if you're a video editor and or if you're a photographer or graphic designer, this monitor is built just for that. And so I'm actually going to go through the manual system on this monitor so you guys can take a look at what the specific manual options are there for this monitor. And I'm sorry if my cat goes in and out of the picture. They like to do that. Okay, so it's actually a touch screen interface. So if you put your finger around there, the 5 dots lights up, and this is the main menu. So if you press that, it opens up a main menu screen. So there are a whole bunch of options. Let's go through each of them. Okay, so of course the first is brightness and contrast, and the next is input source. So right now I have a display port connected, and I'm sorry if the focus goes in and out because the resolution is high on this monitor and the iPhone cannot keep up with this such fine resolution, so it actually can't find the focus point. And of course the next section is the most important color section. If we go in, right now I have it on standard, and it's actually a calibrated standard. I use a i1 Display Pro to calibrate the monitor to make sure, I mean, even though it have in-house calibration, but I like to make sure that the calibration is more spot on for graphic design use. And so it is in standard, but it's actually calibrated. So some other modes out there that's available are multimedia mode, movie mode, game mode, paper mode. The multimedia, movie, and game, they don't have much use. Basically, it just varies the you can't see on the screen, but in movie mode, the screen actually turns a lot more bluer. So it turns to a higher color temperature for movie viewing. And if you go into multimedia, it lowers the brightness of the screen. And if you go to game, it enhances the brightness and contrast of the screen. And if you go to paper, sorry, my cat is playing the paper box. If you go to paper, the screen goes really dark and yellowish, so I guess it mimics the view of the image or whatever content on the paper. And if you go to color temperature and go over there, you can manually select the color temperature of the screen. And if you go to color space, of course, it's the color profile set specifically for different design purposes or editing purpose. So I'm not quite sure what calibration 1 and 2 is. I guess that's the custom calibration that you can do. But over here, I find the best way to calibrate the monitor is actually just use standard to start with, because it's already almost calibrated. And if you use custom color, of course, there's you can adjust a whole bunch of different settings. You can adjust RGB gain. It's default at 100%. You can adjust the offset of RGB values, and you can adjust the hue of the RGB CMY values, and you can adjust the saturation for RGB CMY. As you can see, the adjustment is there's quite a lot of adjustments, so it's definitely suited for graphic design and video editing purpose. Not so much for gaming, and but with that said, if you actually use it for gaming, the color is more vibrant on the screen than your traditional sRGB monitors, and a lot of monitor actually doesn't even have 100% RGB coverage, maybe like 70%. So this monitor would definitely enhance the color experience of whatever you do. So there's PIP feature, the picture-in-picture. I guess I've never used it, but if you have multiple input source, you can turn this on, and you'll be able to display a picture in a corner of the screen. So there's audio option. I don't think it have a built-in audio, but I do see it have a audio input jack on the back, so I'm not quite sure what that is for. Let's see. So there's main and sub. Not quite sure what it's for. And to be honest, I have my own headphones, so I don't actually use a speaker. So let's go back and check. So there's energy. So right now it displays a energy use. So right now it's less than 50%. That's because the brightness has been turned down quite a lot. I think right now the brightness is at about 45%. And if you turn the brightness up, the energy use indicator is definitely going up a lot. So over here in this menu, you can customize the power LED display. You can make sure the LED is on, or you can turn it off during, let's see, turn it off. So if you put it off, the LED actually goes off even though the screen is turned on. But I don't think it matters much on energy use, so let's just turn it back on. So it's for easy identification. And let's go back and see. So right down here, there's menu option. So basically it pertains to the configuration of this menu. The language default is English. Let's see what other language it have. So I have, I guess, Spanish, French, Dutch, Portuguese. I'm not sure about that. And of course the Chinese and Japanese. Let's go down here. There's a rotation option for the menu. So if you have your screen rotated 90 degrees, you can rotate the menu as well. There's transparency setting, which controls the background transparency of the menu. And let's see, which is pretty cool. Okay, so confirm. And there's a timer. So if you don't do anything on the menu, it times out 20 seconds. So, and there's lock, so you can lock the menu. Nobody can change the setting by accident, and reset. So that's the menu setting. And of course down here there's personalized. Over here you can customize the shortcut key, which is like this 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 keys. Default it's set to, let's see. Default is set to preset key 1, brightness contrast key 2, input source at key 3. And this is the actually main menu button, so it's not customizable. So let's see what customized option there is. Oh, there's a lot. Pretty cool. So you can besides the 3, you can select aspect ratio, rotation, picture-in-picture, and USB select switch. Let's see. So that controls which USB input source there is, because on the back of the panel there's actually 2 USB 3 input source. You can select if the source is coming from the hub 1 or the hub 2 if you have multiple monitors connected and multiple different devices. Okay, that's pretty cool. So of course you can also select all different kinds of modes, color modes, to be customized and put onto the shortcut key. And let's see, and video swap, I think that's to swap different input channels. It could be or could not, I'm not sure. Yep. Not sure what that feature is, but it is there. Okay, and let's go back to the others. So over here you can control, there's a button sound you can turn on, which just beeps. So like that. I guess that's pretty good. DDC CI, I'm not quite sure what is that, but it's enabled. And LCD conditioning. I think if you have a dead pixel or any kind of image ghosting, you can turn this feature on. There's a reset others, so it resets some of the features on the monitor, and there's a factory reset which resets everything. We don't want to do that. Okay, so let me make sure. Okay, sorry, it went into the sleep mode. Let me make sure my original setting is correct at my standard setting. Yep. So, and that's pretty much it. The all the buttons over here is touch screen. I prefer physical button, but it actually works. It's pretty sensitive, but sometimes I mispress. Take a look at the infinity edge of the monitor. It's really thin. So, and of course the coating, it's semi-glossy. It's not matte and it's not glossy, so it's not too bad. It doesn't show up as much, and I really like this monitor because the screen is very sharp and the color is very accurate after calibration. And if you guys have any questions regarding this monitor, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching.